Hey everyone, and welcome. I am absolutely thrilled to have you here for this explainer. Have you ever wondered why some people just seem to effortlessly attract money into their lives, while others feel like they're struggling financially their entire lives? Well, the core premise we're diving into today is going to completely shatter what most of us have been taught. Because here's the thing, the secret to wealth, it isn't determined by your job, and it certainly isn't determined by your background. It's actually entirely determined by how your brain is programmed. Today, we're getting into the hard science of getting rich.
Okay, let's dive right into this. Here is the scientific roadmap we'll be following today to completely transform our financial mindsets. We're going to start with the evolutionary money glitch, then compare the wealth versus scarcity mindset, decode your brain's money scripts, explore the magic of neuroplasticity, break down 7 practical steps to wealth, and finally, embark on a 21-day wealth challenge.
All right, part 1, the evolutionary money glitch.
So our brains are incredibly intelligent, right? We have millions of years of evolutionary history backing us up. But fundamentally, our brains essentially glitch when it comes to modern wealth creation. And if you've ever felt like managing money is just unnatural or stressful, this timeline totally validates your struggle. I mean, for hundreds of thousands of years, our ancestors' lives were strictly about survival. Hunting, gathering, not getting eaten by tigers. Wealth creation or investment decisions, those just weren't a thing. Farming only kicked off about 11,000 years ago, barter systems popped up roughly 3,000 years ago, and modern currency as we know it, that literally arrived a mere 250 years ago. So, our brains spent hundreds of thousands of years surviving, not investing. We are quite literally not evolutionarily programmed for modern finance.
Which brings us to part 2, wealth versus scarcity mindset. Because of all that heavy evolutionary baggage we just talked about, when we interact with modern money, our brains tend to split us into 2 very distinct operating modes. One is a pathway to growth, and the other, well, it's a trap. On one side, we've got the wealth mindset. People operating here see opportunities everywhere. They look at money simply as a tool to achieve growth and life goals. It reminds me a lot of the ambitious character Murad from the movie Gully Boy. Despite a really disadvantaged background, his whole belief was focused on his talent and his potential to rise above his situation. But then on the exact opposite side, we have the scarcity mindset. These folks believe resources are incredibly limited, they operate in constant fear and just dread losing what little they have. It's very much like the character Raju Rastogi from Three Idiots, whose decisions were driven almost entirely by fear rather than ambition, which kept him trapped in this paralyzed survival mode. And that imbalance leads us to a really profound realization from the source material. The fear of losing money is often much greater than the joy of gaining it. Just think about how powerful that is. This psychological imbalance literally forces people to stay stuck in a scarcity survival mode. They are so terrified of losing what they currently have that they completely shut themselves off to the joy and the real opportunity of creating true wealth.
Moving right along to part 3, your brain's money scripts.
So, what is physically happening inside our heads to cause these massive mental roadblocks? Let's shift from psychology to anatomy for a second. It all starts in the amygdala. In really simple terms, this is your emotional memory center. So, imagine a kid who grows up in a house where there's constant stress over a lack of money, or parents are frequently arguing about paying the bills. The amygdala takes those intense emotions, the stress, the fear, the anger, and permanently wires them to the concept of money. It essentially becomes the storage vault for your financial emotional baggage. Next up, we have the hippocampus. You can think of this as your contextual memory. This part of the brain doesn't just remember the raw emotion, it logs the exact situational details. It remembers the specific day the school fees were due and couldn't be paid. Or, on the flip side, it remembers the exact day the family joyously celebrated buying a new plot of land. It provides all the historical context for your relationship with money.
Finally, we look at the prefrontal cortex. This is your brain's decision-making hub. It absorbs the societal rules and those little catchphrases you hear from your family and community growing up. If you constantly heard things like rich people are greedy or money is the root of all evil, or maybe the positive ones like hard work attracts money, your prefrontal cortex takes all of that input to finalize your personal decision-making parameters.
So the absolutely crucial point here is that these 3 brain areas, the amygdala, the hippocampus, and the prefrontal cortex, they combine to create your default mode network. Financial psychologists call these your money scripts. This is the deeply ingrained, completely automatic, subconscious programming that dictates your everyday beliefs and emotions about wealth. It's literally the silent operating system running in the background of your life 24/7.
Now, before a doctor can perform surgery, they have to review the diagnostic reports, right? So I want you to act like a doctor right now and diagnose your own money scripts. Ask yourself this first diagnostic question. What are your absolute oldest childhood memories about money? Seriously, think back. Did your parents fight over it? Did you diligently save your pocket money or did you blow it immediately at the store? Your earliest memories hold the absolute key to your hidden programming.
Question 2. How do you actually feel when you think about money? Take a second to assess your emotional baseline right now. Does the mere thought of money trigger immediate stress and anxiety? Or do you feel a sense of excitement and opportunity? Do you look forward to managing it? Or do you completely avoid the topic altogether?
Let's confront some potential biases with question 3. What are your true thoughts about wealthy people? Be really honest with yourself here. Do you secretly view them as greedy villains who push others down to get ahead? Or do you see them as strategic, hardworking individuals who took calculated risks? Because how you view the wealthy directly impacts whether you subconsciously give yourself permission to become one of them.
And to conclude our self-diagnosis, question 4. How do you naturally react to a sudden, unexpected expense? Does a surprise medical bill or a car repair cause pure panic and fear? Or do you remain calm, utilizing calculated planning to figure out how to manage it? Whatever your answers are, those are your specific, unique money scripts staring right back at you.
Okay, part 4, the power of neuroplasticity. Now, if you didn't particularly like your answers to those diagnostic questions just now, do not worry. There is a beautiful, entirely scientific solution that proves your habits are not permanently fixed. It's called neuroplasticity. This is your brain's incredible ability to build brand new neural pathways. Think of it like a really rough, overgrown dirt path in the woods. Walking it those first few times is super hard. But if you walk that exact same path every single day, eventually the dirt gets packed down, right? And over time, it becomes a smooth, paved road. That is exactly how consistent new thoughts and behaviors can literally rewire the physical structure of your brain for wealth.
This leads us perfectly into part 5, 7 steps to wealth.
So how do we actually go about paving those new neural roads? Well, here are the 7 actionable tools required to rewrite your financial destiny. First step, you must change your attitude. You have to view money as a neutral tool, not a stressor. Second, gamify your goals. Treat wealth building like levels in a video game. Break down massive goals into tiny monthly targets to give your brain those crucial dopamine hits. Third, constantly pursue financial literacy. Fourth, consciously upgrade your environment. Fifth, become deeply solution-oriented. Sixth, practice delayed gratification. Control those impulses and invest for the future. And seventh, elevate your network by surrounding yourself with growth-minded people.
To really powerfully illustrate step 4, upgrading your environment, look at this incredible anecdote from the source material. During his struggling early days, the legendary businessman Dhirubhai Ambani would go drink tea at the ultra-luxurious 5-star Taj Hotel. And he didn't do this to just waste money. He did it simply to sit, observe, and absorb the environment of the wealthy. He consciously placed himself in that environment to normalize it for his brain. It proves that you absolutely do not have to wait for success to surround yourself with the mindset of success.
All right, our final section, part 6, the 21-day wealth challenge.
We all know that information without application is entirely useless. Science shows us it takes time to cement those new neural pathways we talked about, and 21 days is actually the perfect window to start seeing real neuroplasticity in action. So, here's how you structure your daily routine to make it happen. We start with a quick 15-minute morning routine. First, relax into a calm, prime state through some deep breathing. Second, physically write down the negative money scripts you want to change. Writing forces focus. Third, quickly review those 7 steps to wealth we just discussed. Fourth, visualize your financial future and what having money as a tool will allow you to do for yourself and your family. And fifth, practice deep gratitude for what you already have, so you're operating from a place of abundance, not desperation.
Then, you end your day with a simple 15-minute evening routine. First, honestly review your day's financial mindset. Did you fall back into a scarcity trap at any point? Second, self-coach your thoughts. Since you won't always have a mentor stating over your shoulder, you have to become your own coach, course-correcting those limiting beliefs every single night. And third, create tomorrow's action plan so you wake up with crystal clear intent. This nightly review is absolutely critical for building long-term consistency. We've covered a ton of ground today, from the prehistoric glitches in our brains to the exact daily routines needed to fix them. And I want to leave you with this final provocative question. You now know the actual science of getting rich. So What's it going to be? Will you spend the next 21 days actively rewiring your brain? Or will you let evolutionary fear keep you stuck exactly where you are right now? The choice is entirely yours. Thank you so much for hanging out with me on this explainer, and I absolutely cannot wait to see the wealth mindset you build.